Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a recent decision taken by the central government where it has rejected the demand of separate administration that was raised by the Kuki community in Manipur. Now, the group is planning for plebiscite or a referendum in the coming days against this decision of the central government. So, let us try to understand this entire issues in more detail. Now, recently the central government under the meeting that was undertaken recently by the Ministry of Home Affairs himself, he has rejected a demand for separate administration, whether it is in the form of union territory that comprises Kuki-dominated areas in the Manipur. Manipur is a small state in the northeastern part of India where you have many ethnic groups that reside. Largely, most of them belong to the Meiteis community, Kuki community, and a small percentage of Naga tribes. Now, the core condition that was set by the Kuki-Zo organization, which is considered as an organization representing the interest of the Kuki people for ending the conflict in Meiteis, that separate administration was the core condition, and that has now been categorically rejected. Now, also one thing I would want to talk about is the Kuki-Zo. Now, we know that Kuki is the term used for a tribal group. So, why we are using the term Jo here? Now, Jo basically is a group that Jo basically is a term that refers to a ethno-linguistic group where you have a Chin tribe of Myanmar, where you have some tribe residing in the northeastern Bangladesh, and then you have large number of tribe residing along the Indian side as well. So, all these people are basically collectively referred as a Jo. So, Kuki-Zo organization for entering the conflict with Meiteis. Now, Centre's interlocutor and advisor of MHA for the Northeast, A.K. Mishra, has then conveyed this message of Home Minister Amit Shah to the Kuki-Zo organization. So, this is the most recent development that has happened in this particular area. Now, obviously, as a response of this particular decision, the Kuki-Zo community has witnessed what you can call as a ripples, where who have been pressing for a separate administration, they have become furious. They have said now the government is trying to pressure them to accept certain decisions without reaching or without trying to reach towards some sort of final settlement, this what you can call as a negotiation. The centre's team on Monday shared a blueprint with the Kuki organization to end the conflict that have killed more than 260 people since May 2023, when violence largely erupted in Manipur between the Meiteis and Kukis. Now, the centre's message is likely to trigger outrage as Kuki explained that they cannot live under the Manipur government that is controlled by the Meiteis, and that is why they had demanded for a separate administrative territory, largely maybe in the form of union territory and later in the form of state. Now, if we talk about the next possible steps, so many of the members of organizations have also said that now we will push for having a referendum regarding the demand and the next course of action by the Kuki group. Again, before understanding about this, if you take a look at the map of Manipur, you have Manipur, this is the valley area, and from three sides largely you have the mountainous area. So, the Meiteis are largely inhabiting the valley areas, while the tribal people such as Kukis are inhabiting the southern, what you can call as the western and the eastern part, and Nagas are inhabiting what you can call as the northern part of Manipur. Now, obviously, the question of referendum comes also by looking at the earlier example of Nagaland, where many Kuki leaders have said that the reason why Nagaland was created as a separate state was because of the success of referendum that was held and was passed by the Naga people. So, similar kind of history can be seen being repeated in this case, in the case of Manipur as well. So, in this context, already many of the party members have begun an awareness drive among the Kukis about the need for why we should have a plebiscite and what is the matter to be discussed under the plebiscite. Now, obviously, the question comes that what is the importance of president rule in this context? Because if you know, last month N. Biren Singh, the chief minister, the sitting chief minister of Manipur, resigned because he failed largely to address the growing unrest and concern and a violence between the Meiteis and Kukis. So, multiple Kuki-Zo leaders have also acknowledged that after the imposition of president rule, the violent confrontation that regularly was triggered between the Meiteis and the Kukis had ceased or almost stopped. But they also have cautioned that though it is the biggest development, it cannot or should not be considered as a permanent development, because unless and until the final negotiation and the solution to the problems provided, we cannot be sure about the lasting peace in the region. Other decision that was taken recently by the central government to impose what you can call as a free movement regime, FMR. Under the free movement regime, it would have allowed the Meitei people to travel in the hill areas dominated by the Kuki people, and Kuki people to travel in the valley areas dominated by the Meitei people, which were not possible after since May 2023, since the violence has erupted. So leaders remain opposed to free movement in the state. Leaders we are talking about is the Kuki people, because they believe that without reaching to a solution, without reaching to a political solution or negotiating even for it, adoption or the imposition of FMR is similar to forcing peace, and not only forcing peace but bulldozing peace by the pressure. In this context, Kuki-Zo Council also has said, which is the umbrella, this outfit of Kuki's group, that it will continue opposing the free movement initiative of the central government. Now, few weeks back, when the Home Minister Amit Shah has directed that free movement regime should be instituted, the decision to enforce free movement was taken on the March 8. He directed also that if someone is trying to obstruct the free movement, security forces should take the direct action and should also take strict action against any of the obstruction. And also, basically, as we discussed, the Meiteis and Kukis under this free movement regime can travel into each other's areas. To prove the point, the Home Ministry also has directed the buses of the Manipur state transport with a paramilitary escort, however, without any passenger, as there can be danger, a threat to their life, to move into the Kuki areas from the Imphal. So, bus has passed through Kuki-Zo majority district of the Kangpokpi, however, it was stopped by the protester. Clashes has resulted because of this free movement regime, and it has resulted in death and death of one person and injuries to the protesters as well. It also has led to the shutdown by the Kuki-Zo Council. However, this shutdown has recently been lifted up. Now, Kuki's organizations accuse the center of bulldozing in trying to push the bus into Kangpokpi. So, that is overall the concern about this. Now, what is the demand of Kuki? Because they have said that we will not accept the imposition of free movement regime. They have been very furious. The center has rejected their demand for a separate administration, separate administrative block. So, they said that rather than imposing peace and taking measures that the MHA rightly is taking right now, rather than Ministry of Home Affairs should try to find out what is the root cause of the conflict, and once they try to find it out, they can try to then resolve it. And once a solution, whether it is in the form of separate union territory for the Kuki people or anything else is arrived at, then they said that the other measures such as imposition of free movement regime should follow. So, free movement without a solution or negotiation, largely Kuki-Zo Council has said, is not acceptable to them, and that is why they will keep on protesting against it. And also they said that the free movement regime largely benefits the Meitei community. Why it is so? Because they said that no one from our community will go to the Meitei place. So, as far as the Kuki people are concerned, it does not yield any kind of benefit, and free movement means nothing to them. So, this is the kind of reaction that we are seeing from the Kuki community. So, that is all about this particular video. I hope you got the idea that why what kind of decision has recently been taken by the Ministry of Home Affairs and what kind of reaction we are seeing coming from the Kuki-Zo community. Now, one thing is very clear, that unless and until all the stakeholders, whether it is the representative of Meiteis, whether it is the representative of Kuki-Zo community and the central government sit together and iron out the differences, final or what you can call as the lasting peace in the state of Manipur, it does not seem to be guaranteed. So, what we are seeing today is obviously the effect of President's rule, where also the movement of the Indian the soldiers, Indian paramilitary forces, military has tried to basically settle the situation temporarily by cessation of violence, we can say, between the two groups. So, that is all about this particular video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such content. Thank you very much.